So I got on the Vitamix bandwagon this week. I have been sort of thinking about getting a Vitamix blender for a long time, and I was finally able to talk to somebody who knows how I cook, who could observe how I cook, who has one, who also has limited resources, and I finally decided that this was going to be a good product for my kitchen. One of the reasons why I did the timing now, besides getting a really good deal at Costco, is that I'm still getting braces, and we finally added the braces like to my back teeth, and I'm having a really hard time chewing and my food, even like something that you would think would be really soft, like cake or something. I'm having so much trouble. So I thought, well, if I can start my mornings with a really wholesome smoothie that has several fruits and vegetables in it, then at least I know that I'm starting my day off right. And then I'm also able to make really nice soups with the Vitamix. But I'm really enjoying my morning smoothies. And for my morning smoothie, it's a full meal. I do a balance of carbs and protein and fats. They are about 400 to 500 calories. And I can have one of these, like right now it's 8 o'clock. The one that I'm going to make today, I know I'm not going to need to eat again until probably like 1 or 2 this afternoon. So these are not like these, low fat, I'm going to try to lose weight kind of smoothies. These are actually meal replacement smoothies. And this is the one that I found that was the absolute tastiest. It's not necessarily the most nutritious. It doesn't have any like greens in it, for example. I've been doing them with the spinach and with the kale, but because of the oxalates, you don't want to do that every day. I don't want to start having like kidney stone issues. So one of the first things that I'm going to want to do is add the milk, because loading the Vitamix in the right order is really important. So I'm going to add about a cup of almond milk, and this is unsweetened almond milk. And at some point, I do want to use my Vitamix to make my own nut milks, my own nut butters. And then you need some plain yogurt, and during the contingency, as they call it here, you got to use what you've got. And I could not get a big pot of yogurt, so I just bought these little ones, and I've just been putting one of these in. And it's not ideal. I mean, you get the extra packaging and stuff, but this is actually, this is one of my favorite brands. It's Greek yogurt without sugar. I do try to use a yogurt that has a little bit more fat in it. Let me just put this down while I scrape this down a second. I try to use a yogurt that has more fat normally. I don't believe in using low-fat dairy, but because you'll see in a minute, I put quite a bit of nuts in here. I don't need the fat in the yogurt, so this works perfectly. So for my nuts, I have these beautiful cashews that I get. I have a bulk cashew store near my house. And that's the only place that I know of where I can get bulk nuts at this point. So I have these that are left. After that, I'll probably go back to peanut butter until I can get to Costco, where I'll be able to get pecans and almonds and things like that. So I weigh out my nuts. Like I weigh out almost all my food now. So on here, it's a 0. And then I put in about 25 grams of nuts. With peanut butter, the peanut butter that I eat, it's 32 grams. So I just like to know what I'm eating, and I try to keep track of what I eat. And then this way, I know if I'm getting my nutrition or not. So then I put this in, and then this is like my little tip, because I find that if you put everything in together and you start your blender, everything's just going to liquefy, and you're not going to have that nice thick texture from your frozen fruits. So I reduce the nuts first, and then after that I add the rest. So let me just start this. And it's very loud. The Costco one is very loud. Okay, you can still hear some of the pieces, but that's okay. It's just starting it. And then to that, I am going to add my mangoes, which I've already pre-portioned. This is supposed to be a peach one, but peaches here are very dear and mangoes are not. I am using, we're not in mango season, so I'm using frozen. This brand right here, La Huerta. Huerta is like an orchard. This is the absolute best brand of frozen produce I have ever encountered. Everything is just so good. And then, so I use like La Huerta for almost all my frozen produce. I always have something in the freezer. And then I'm putting in 1 frozen banana, and then I leave my bananas on the counter until they're very, very soft, and I would not eat them raw. And then I chop them up and I put them in little baggies like that. So this way it's ready to go in the mornings. I used to just throw my bananas in the freezer whole and then chop them in the morning, and that was just too much work in the morning. And then to that, I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of Quaker oats. And I thought I brought a big spoon, but I didn't, so I'll just probably put like 4 of these little spoons in. So that's just like normal Quaker oats that you would make your like oatmeal with. And then I'm going to add just a pinch of salt, which you actually need to bring out some of the sweetness. So just like literally a pinch. And then some vanilla. And again, I'm using what I've got. This is not the good vanilla, but it'll do. And a lot of these smoothies use cinnamon, which I really love, so I'm going to put some cinnamon in. And a lot of these smoothies tell you to use, like, you can put in like a date or something to add sweetness. But I actually don't have much of a sweet palate anymore. Like, for me, the fruit, especially with having the banana, that's more than enough. Like, I've had several of these smoothies where they're saying, you know, add something sweet to counteract the bitterness of the greens, and I don't need it. I really don't. I think I've had 1 smoothie so far where I thought I could have used a banana in this, but otherwise, I definitely try not to add anything sweet. So I'm just going to blend this up for about a minute. So easy. When I made this one the first time, it came out this beautiful yellow color. I'm wondering if I'm going to get the yellow. I might not have as much mango as I did the first time, because I think I put too much mango last time. You know, you try to... Oh yeah, there you go. It is a beautiful yellow color. It is. This is probably the prettiest one that... Look at how smooth that is. There's no chunks. There's no nothing. Or maybe there's a little chunk. So I'm going to scrape that down. And then what I love the best about the Vitamix is how easy it is to clean. Like, once I have my blender scraped down, I'm going to rinse it with some water, and then you fill it about halfway with warm water, and you add a few drops of dish detergent, and then you run a high cycle on it for maybe a minute. And then you rinse it, you rinse the lid, and you're done. I've been trying to do like the frozen banana nice cream and things like, and like sorbets and stuff. And I used to take out my food processor, and it was such a process just to get it cleaned after. Just so much scrubbing that I wasn't motivated. It was just easier to get a tub of ice cream at the supermarket. So with this, just with the cleanup being as easy as it is, I'm definitely using this a lot more. I've been using my Vitamix since I bought it like 2 or 3 times a day. Because at lunch, I'll make a savory, like a green juice. That's got barely any fruit in it at all. It's mostly cactus, parsley, kale, broccoli. I'm trying to think of what else I've got in there. Maybe a little bit of pineapple and mango for sweetness, and I make it with coconut water as a base. And I'll do that instead of a vegetable. I have digestive issues, so I have a hard time processing a lot of produce. And I find that with the smoothies, because it kind of breaks them down for me, I still got all the goodness in there, but it's kind of done the hard work for me. I'm able to eat a lot more fresh fruits and vegetables than I was. So I think I'm going to see a lot of health benefits, and so I'm going to go and drink this and get started on my work day, and start thinking about what I'm going to do for a soup tonight with this. I did one soup the other night. I couldn't believe it. I threw a package of frozen vegetables into the Vitamix with 3 cups of chicken broth, and I blitzed it for about 8 minutes on high, and I had piping hot soup directly out of my blender. I didn't have to heat up the kitchen. So I totally am a convert to this. I can't get over the difference. And as I said, I bought mine at Costco. In Mexico, there's not that many options for where to buy a Vitamix, and you don't have as many models as you do in the US or in Canada. And after doing a lot of research, I decided I wanted a basic model anyway. I didn't want something with a lot of electronic bells and whistles, because that's more things that can break down. So I've been watching Costco, and when they brought the price down, I think it was like 5,500 pesos, which is about 350 Canadian. I knew that was about as good a price as I was ever going to find. And it's a lot of money, but at the same time, I believe in investing in my health, and anything that gets me to eat more fresh produce, that gets my day started with, 4 or 5 servings of fruits and vegetables. To me, that's worth the investment. So that's my new toy. I'm going to go enjoy that now. Cheers.